The Israeli Army and Hamas face each other on the ground in a bloody war. The conflict between Israel and Hamas, the Islamic group that controls the Gaza Strip, has intensified in recent weeks, reaching a critical point on Thursday, October 19th, when the Israeli army announced that it had entered Palestinian soil for the first time since 2014. The ground operation is part of a military offensive called Guardian of the Walls, which aims to destroy the infrastructure and arsenals of Hamas, responsible for launching more than 4,000 rockets against Israel since the start of the confrontation. The decision to invade Gaza was taken after a night of intense aerial and sea bombardment by Israel, which hit strategic Hamas targets such as underground tunnels, weapons depots, command centers, and rocket launchers. According to Israeli Army spokesman Jonathan Kamerkis, the ground operation involves infantry, armored, engineering, and artillery units, supported by drones and helicopters. He said the aim is to cause significant damage to Hamas' underground network and decrease its ability to launch rockets. Hamas, in turn, responded to the invasion with more rocket attacks against Israel, especially against cities near the border with Gaza. The group also stated that its fighters were ready to face Israeli troops on the ground and inflict heavy losses on the enemy. Hamas leader in Gaza, Yahya Sinwar, said in an audio message that the resistance is ready to turn Gaza into a cemetery for the soldiers of the occupation and that victory is at hand with the help of God. The confrontation between Israel and Hamas is the most violent since the 2014 war, which lasted 50 days and left more than 2,000 people dead, most of them Palestinians. Since then, there have been several episodes of military escalation between the parties, but none as serious as the current one. The current crisis began in April, when Hamas launched rockets into Jerusalem in protest against police repression of Palestinian protesters on the esplanade of mosques, a holy site for Muslims and Jews. The situation was further worsened by the threat of eviction of Palestinian families from a neighborhood in East Jerusalem occupied by Israel since 1967. The international community has been calling for an immediate ceasefire between Israel and Hamas, but to no avail so far. The United States, Israel's historic ally, sent an emissary to the region to try to mediate a diplomatic solution to the conflict. U.S. President Joe Biden said he supports Israel's right to defend itself from Hamas attacks, but also expressed concern about civilian casualties and the humanitarian situation in Gaza. The UN Security Council met 4 times to discuss the crisis, but was unable to issue a joint statement calling for an end to the violence. The conflict between Israel and Hamas is another chapter in the long and complex Israeli-Palestinian conflict, which involves historical, religious, territorial, and political issues. A peaceful solution to this problem seems increasingly distant given the lack of dialogue between the parties and the absence of a prospect of resuming peace negotiations. More than 6,000 people have died so far in this conflict between Israel and Hamas, according to the latest available data. According to the Ministry of Health of the State of Palestine, the conflict left 4,651 dead and 14,245 injured in the Gaza Strip. In Israel, there are 1,400 dead, the majority in the October 7th attack. The global desire to end this war is great, as it represents a threat to peace and security in the region and the world. Many countries and organizations have mobilized to try to mediate a diplomatic solution to the conflict, but without success so far. Mediations to end the conflict face many obstacles and challenges. The political, religious, and territorial differences between Israel and Hamas make it difficult to find a peaceful and lasting solution to the conflict. Furthermore, disagreements among international actors on how to deal with the crisis also impede coordinated and effective action.
Are you enjoying our channel? Give your opinion below, subscribe to strengthen the channel, And so we can go further with our messages of faith for the future of our planet Earth and a better world. Without wars, without conflicts, and with respect for others.